Welcome to our continuing series, Interviews with Disciples and Devotees. Today again, we are honored to have Ananda Reddy with us. Namaste. Last time you told us about the gifts you made for Mother on your birthday. What will you share with us today?
Today I have we have so many small things, little things, but which go a long way in our growth, People may think what big about it, but imagine a child of 12 years, 13 years, he doesn't know much about spirituality and the gods and divine, nothing. But I see the great advantage of having come to the ashram as a child. Because there are seniors, there are people who came at a later age, at 20s and 30s and 40s. And those who have had a closer link with the mother, they could talk to her, go to her. I often wondered, I said, oh my God, if I were of that age, maybe I could have talked to the mother. Conversed with her, communicated.
Remind us again how old you were when you first came?
At 10 plus.
10 plus. And what year?
1958.
58.
I still remember in 1958, 22nd of April. And 24th was the darshan, so
Yes,
2 days before.
yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that now that you asked me the question. Subsequently, later, my father told me that when he had written about me being admitted in the ashram school, mother had asked him to get me to the balcony. See, that's the way she wanted to see me. Balcony darshan, for the balcony darshan.
Interesting.
So
For the 24th.
that was not on the phone, not in the balcony, normal balcony, 22nd, 23rd, before the darshan. So I was taken for the balcony darshan where the mother saw me, and then subsequently she told Nalnida or somebody that yes, Anand is can be admitted. So that was a strange thing, but that is the way it seems. She saw me, and after seeing me, she said, yes, he's in.
So she came out to the old balcony on Balcony
Normally the balcony darshan time, 6:15 a.m.
Balcony Street, yes.
Balcony street, balcony darshan time. And I was there for a
And
balcony.
she came out specially just to see you.
Not specially, for the general balcony darshan, 6:15 a.m.
Oh, okay.
But she wanted to see me particularly, and there I was. Under
Did you stand in a particular place?
No, I didn't know anything about that, you see. I was just there, but mother had told my father, it seems, asked him to come to the balcony darshan.
Wonderful.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The small things, but very important I see now. One of the things is, I was first at the Ganpatram hostel, from where I told you last time we used to run for the balcony darshan, etc. After a couple of years, we went to Kiran Didi's boarding, which is opposite the bank somewhere. But there we used to have a kind of an aquarium, all the young boys used to maintain an aquarium, and some pigeons and birds, and we had a little interest in all these things. The interesting thing is that, for an aquarium, some fish die and they have to be replenished and new ones come. And so those days we didn't have an aquarium fish in Pondi.
Oh.
So imagine that. So we had to go to Chennai for that, Madras.
But there was no supplier in Bombay.
No supplier here. So what do we do now that we have started it? So we had to write to the mother. And of course I was the script writer or letter writer. So I used to write to the mother, I need some goldfish and angel fishes and kissing gurami and guppies. So a number of them, imagine. And it's so beautiful to be a little child to the mother, as you're telling all the details and, have no fear, nothing. But frankness.
Yes.
So I used to tell her, what are the things I'm going to buy? Each name of the fish, the quantity, And then there used to be a Moor market in Chennai. Moor market was very close to Chennai station.
I remember it.
You remember that?
Oh, yes.
That subsequently got burnt actually. Burned down by an accident something. So I used to tell her, we used to go there, buy this fish and come back, mother, by the evening, Going starting at 6:30 a.m., coming back by 8 p.m. All the details of the program were there. And mother would say, voila, très bien, tu peux aller, and all that, But sometimes some of my young children ask me, Ananda, what big out for buying fish and then why did you have to write to the mother? Could you not decide for yourself? They're small things. But then I said, it's not the question of, small or big. I think that's how she started training us to make us surrender. Be dependent on a higher force.
Yes.
So I could have taken the decision, and many boys must have taken of my age to go and do something on their own.
Without asking.
Without asking the mother.
Yes.
But for me, somehow, right from that age, that dependence on the mother started growing. As I saw in my birthday gifts, giving to her, offering. So even the small things I used to write. So that way I started writing. And quite many years later, I don't remember, maybe mid-60s, another thing happened. We are playing football, in the group we play football. Once I got an injury in my right knee, so some dislocation of the right knee. And I took some rest and all that, the normal treatment. But after a couple of months again, there's a problem again. So somebody advised me saying that you go to Puttur. Puttur is the place where the natural bone setters. They don't follow any of this allopathic method. They are bone setters, traditional bone setters. They use leaves, for the juice of the leaves, for treating your injuries. So I said, maybe that's a good thing, once for all you get rid of this problem. And along with me, there were some other people, 3 or 4 other persons. Somebody had a wrist pain, wrist problem. Somebody had a finger problem. Somebody had a knee problem. So 4 or 5 of us got together and we said, let's go to Puttur, which is quite far, I don't know, 200 kilometers or something. But, you have to tell the mother. Without telling her, informing her, we can't step out. Not a fear, but, the dependence is, everything is she, good, bad, everything she must be informed. So, as I said, I'll show you the letter next time. I wrote to her saying that this is the place we want to go. We have this injury and that injury. And who's going to be the driver? We had taken a car from our ashram atelier. And driver was Amarendra. All the details, the beauty was, we had to tell her every detail. There's nothing hidden from her. So many kilometers, he is the driver, this is the car, this is the number. And not only that, I wrote my names on the left, our names on the left side. No, we typed our names saying that these are the following 5 people who are going. So we seek your advice, your blessings. Mother said, permission, blessing, you may go. But the wonder of wonders is, when I typed a name, that person's name was Rajnikant. Actually, it's spelled as Rajanikant, Rajnikant. By mistake, it was Rajni. The Raja was missing. Rajni. There should have been a Ja.
Yes.
And Narada will not believe me. In all her supreme consciousness, she noted that little missing A. I said, Ma, you're too impossible. Imagine running an ashram, running these people, hundreds and thousands of letters.
Exactly that. I was just reciting one of our questions and answers where Sri Aurobindo says to someone, it would be good if you could write to us every day, or at least 2 to 3 times a week. And they're receiving thousands of letters. Mother would catch that little mistake.
I was so moved. We're saying, Ma, I mean, really, you are the infinite and the finitesimal. So much you can see. I mean, people would say, okay, Rajnikant, 5 of them, Ananda did.
Yeah.
But that's still there. Next time I want you to focus on that later.
Good.
Rajnikant. So you see, these are things that are etched in my soul. That's the care. That to say that I care for you people is not just giving tipale. It's just that each person, she has kind of put the consciousness, whatever she has done. So that was one more thing that I wanted to tell you. But beside that, there's a third incident. They're small ones, but these are all highlights in my life. Every November when there's vacations in the ashram school, first 6 years I didn't go to Hyderabad, but after that I started going to Hyderabad to my parents during the vacations. And it used to be that the vacations, during the vacations we used to have Diwali, the festival of Diwali. And so I observed that, during the Diwali, there's a lot of this firecrackers, there's a lot of, sweet meats and fun and frolic, good dinners and new clothes and all that. So I was a bit bold and a bit revolting. I wrote to the mother, what's the purpose of all this? I mean, is there any meaning behind it or just fun and frolic? Do the gods really come down and all that thing? So, because I revolted saying I don't find any meaning in these festivals. These are all superficial things. And
very interesting.
So, but I said, no, I want to know your opinion. What's the meaning of these things? And that was a famous thing that I told in all my talks. She just wrote down saying, men like festivals.
Yes. Yeah.
As simple as that.
Finished. Yeah.
So then immediately I said, my God, this is all superficial, socializing, this custom, vital things. So since then there's been a kind of a resistance when I want to celebrate any festivals. People in the Diwali day, they put diyas and crackers. I said, it's all a socializing, there's nothing spiritual about it, purely a social thing. But there's something else I wrote later. Once I said, Mother, we have so many gods and goddesses in India, with Ganesha with a different trunk and a Durga with this limb, different 10 arms and all that. Are there in the subtle physical such gods? Or is it human imagination? She said, no. There are this different number of hands. It represents the different powers of the goddess. So what is there in the drawing is not wrong. Maybe they are representing these 10 powers with 10 hands. But in the occult physical, it's true that this Durga or this person has got so many powers. So in a way she did consent to this kind of imagination that Durga is presented with so many hands. So that was one beautiful thing to see that, yes, in the subtle physical, the gods are there. Speaking about gods, again in those days, I was maybe 13 or 14, 15. I used to often see in my dreams gods and goddesses. Shiva and Krishna and Durga. One day, I started seeing it so many times. I said, is it my imagination that I'm wanting to see or something? She wrote to me the letter just this morning. I was looking at the letters. She said, no, Shiva is there, the subtle physical. And is very active these days. That's the beauty. She says, not only is he there, he is very active these days. And if you are quieter, you can see on that level even Sri Aurobindo. Because I've seen Sri Aurobindo also there. And then she wrote a little note which I discovered only today when I was rereading my letters. She said, maybe because of your birthday you are more open to these gods today. Wow, that was something which I had quite forgotten all these years.
Goodness.
And because I was going through the letters. So this was the chapter of the gods and goddesses. And of course last time I told you about my seeing the Durga, the mother herself, when she was sitting in her room. I told you that experience. Now, one more in this series I'll tell you. It was in 1972. I had written an article dedicating it to the master. Before that, I must tell you, you see, I was very foolish, but it's good to be foolish with the divine. You don't have your ego coming in front. I said, Mother, I want to write an article to commemorate Sri Aurobindo's centenary. On what should I write? Even that also I used to ask her, I want to write, but you should tell me what I should
Give
write.
me the subject.
But Mother's answers are so beautiful. She said, write only on that what you know. She was so straight.
Yes.
So write only on that what you know. But Narad, imagine one thing. How much of her time she has given to these little questions, little queries, little stupid things.
Yes.
But now that I know what she is and who she is, mentally not that I know. But how she would care for a little letter from a youngster wanting to seeking something. I must tell you also that not that every letter that I wrote she has responded. No. I think she must have seen where there's a need and which helps you to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I used to ask for information, she just kept quiet, the letter was out. She didn't respond. Week, 10 days, 15 days, then I knew Mother will not respond. So that was also there. So where there is a necessity and a possibility of helping my growth, she would have replied. So in this letter she said, write only what you know. So that put me into a little bit of thinking. I said, what is it that I know that I can write on Sri Aurobindo? However, that was, I still remember the title of that article was, I was in Auroville by then. I was living in Auroville, 71. So I titled the article as Oro World and wrote about my experience at Auroville, the beginnings of Auroville,
Were you in Aspiration?
I was at Aspiration. I was looking after the Aspiration school at that time. I'll come to that Auroville chapter next.
Good.
So there's a third session that I want to have.
Very good.
So this one, so she said, and so I wrote an article about the beginning of Auroville, what it meant to be, how I feel, and the beginning of beginnings. And I took it to the mother. Before publishing the article, I said, Mother, the rest of the articles is fine. I know, I've read it, and there's one paragraph which I want you to hear, because this is about you. So I can't write about you, and without your knowledge I cannot get it published. So I think Kumudban or somebody, she read out the para. And in that paragraph I had, imagine, dare to write about mother's future physical transformation. I said by about, that was 1972. I said 50 years later, because even then, every time we heard our notes on the way, the transformation that she was going through.
Which we waited for every quarter.
Every quarter, So I said, 50 years hence, surely she should be all, done, the whole transformation. So I projected my stupid mind. I said, by 2020, I'm sure mother's transformation would have taken place, her golden body and all that and all that. So when I read that paragraph or read it out through by Kumudban, she said no. She pinched her left arm like that. She said, "Ça n'est pas encore transformé. It's not yet transformed. So you don't publish anything." And the beauty, now I see how much realistic she was, perfect. No, it's not the question of honesty, but straightforward. She just said, no, ça n'est pas encore transformé. So how can you publish a thing which nothing is not yet done? You can say 2020 or something. If it's done, you do it. So that's not something that I know, you see. I got back to her saying, write only that you know. And this is one thing that we didn't know at all.
Yes.
So she said, no, don't publish that. So I edited, deducted that paragraph. Rest of the article I sent. So, in fact, all these letters I'll show you this morning I was recollecting. So that's another beautiful thing. She says, no, I'm not yet transformed. No, my body is not yet transformed. So you cannot publish that.
I would like to ask about your ring. It's so beautiful.
Good you reminded me. Yeah, it was in 1969, the year I was leaving higher course. I completed my ashram education. So I had an aspiration that I should get a ring from the mother because I may be going out. So I bought this ring and sent it to the mother through Champa class, saying that when I come for my birthday, I would like it to be given by her to me. But when I went on that day, the ring was ready, and then she said, where do you want me to put it? I didn't expect that she would say. She may say, take this ring or whatever is a nice gift. But she asked me, which finger you want me to put in? That took me by surprise a bit, my God.
Oh, yes.
And spontaneously I said, Mom, this my Rishi. I put out my finger. And then I still remember, there was a table and she said, and of course she was a little shaking, and she held my finger and then slowly, she just concentrated like that and was looking at my finger and slowly she put it through like that, exactly, remember. And then she said, voila. And I said, Ma, you are too good, incredible, unbelievable. That a child's aspiration, she herself puts it on my finger. I mean, normally she does not give it away. And then I said, Ma, that will remain my only thing till the end of my body. So that was the ring, and of course since then, once only it got repaired, but so apart from other things, this is something physically very, very precious for me. And sometimes people say, Anand bhai, give me you have seen the mother, bless her. I said, I have nothing to bless. You just touch this ring, that is your blessing, because she has given me this ring. So I said, no, I am not a person to bless. I said, here is what she has given me. From there you can take whatever you want. So they touched the ring and go. I said, that's her property and you can take it, not mine. Whereas, of course, this one is, this is a divine wedding, this is a human wedding. My wife Deepshika gave me this on one of my birthdays.
Oh.
So with the Shiva Buddha symbol and with the mother symbol in the middle.
It's very beautiful.
So I said, good, I got two rings with two different symbols, human wedding and the divine wedding, So that is the story of this ring. We can end up there.
Thank you so much.